guys, rachybop here, and today I'm reviewing the Sims 4 Dine Out game pack. It's a game pack which is kind of in between a stuff pack and an expansion pack, and I've seen a few people's reviews and opinions on this pack, and I think the general overall theme is that it's a good pack, and so I'm really nervous to put this review up because I don't really agree. I cannot lie, and I have to be honest, there's some serious flaws with this game pack. The actual theme of the pack and what you can do in it is absolutely great, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the way it plays out is amazing. If they were to give us toddlers tomorrow, it wouldn't mean that all of our dreams would come true if they were hugely annoying in the way they ran. So I'm not going to be blindsided by the fact that this is great content, because the way it runs in the game has way too many flaws for me to look past. So I've made some notes on my iPhone through the times that I've played, and there's also, and some of them are good, some of them are bad. There are definitely good points, and if running a restaurant appeals to you, I would definitely recommend getting it. I just feel like the way it runs is not brilliant. So I've made these notes, I'm going to go through them. I've also got a video in the description that I played when it was first released, so you can see it in action. I'll put a link to that in the description. So the first thing I've put is slow when eating. They are so slow. Like the game is so slow. I know eating in The Sims and cooking in The Sims in general is slow, so bringing this into the restaurant area is quite painful to watch. The next thing I've written is can steal food away with no reaction. So the first date I took my Sim on, her date didn't eat his food, so she was able to just steal it, and there was absolutely zero reaction. You could steal food from other people's tables and there's just no reaction there. So I think that's something that they maybe should add. And I think if you can pick flaws with a pack within the first hour of play, then there's definitely something wrong, because they must be the things that we're gravitating to do first off. So maybe things that they've considered themselves when making the pack but haven't been able to, or haven't had the time or resources to put them in, which really isn't that great. The next thing I've put is food picks are always the same, so whether you've eaten half your food or you're just about to start, that food picture will be the same depending on the level of the photography of the Sim, which is just a little bit annoying. I feel like they could have put in each level, I'm pretty sure they could have put in each stage of it being eaten, seeing as there is imagery of each stage of it being eaten, and it's obviously connected to that food when you take the photo, so I just feel like that's another skipped thing. The next thing is that you can walk straight past the host into the restaurant without booking your table and then request your table. I just think that's a bit weird. You can also leave without paying, but then it will just say that you should have paid and it will take the money anyway. I had to try that one. I think it would be super nice if the police came knocking if you have get to work installed or something like that, but that's, you know, that's the stuff that dreams are made of. I also think that this pack is kind of so similar to, like, it's like an addition to Get to Work. It's like, because of the whole bakery and retail thing, it's basically just those 4 restaurants, which, well, I mean, that's exactly what it is. So it's kind of like we said, well, thanks for Get to Work, but we wanted restaurants, and they were like, okay, we'll make a pack of that, and then we have to pay again. I don't know if you guys will get what I'm saying, but hopefully this is coming across okay. The good point is the menus are awesome, the food on them is awesome, there's so much choice, and the customization that you can create as a player is unbelievable, so that is definitely a positive. Also heaps of stuff in there and gameplay that you will get from it, absolutely worth the money in that point. Like in terms of what you get, yes, it's brilliant. The aquariums are beautiful, the things you can make, the restaurants you can make, aesthetically it's absolutely glorious. And also like people can call you to go on a date at a restaurant, that's really fun. And the restaurants are nicely populated, which is brilliant. It's really good when you can hear the sound of all the Sims chattering away at their tables. So they're the good things, that's probably all of it. I think essentially I feel like the pack still needs work. I feel like it's not ready for human consumption. You're sat at your table, and because people are in your vicinity you'll find that your Sim is talking to people on other tables. And they'll also like randomly stand up, which they do so slowly and obviously, and it's just painful to watch. And they sort of stand up and then they'll pick up their food and they might put it on the floor, and then they might go to someone else's table and start talking to them and sit at their table, and it's just weird. It's more like you're in their kitchen, and it kind of just functions like a house, and I think it kind of does in the game as well, because I know when I didn't pay my bills in the game, no change there, and the power was turned off, like not just in my house but in my restaurant as well, although it did stay open and fully functional and no one reacted to it at all, but there was no power. But the chef station carried on working, and that's the main thing. Also the waiters take away the used plates and cups way too soon, like they're straight in there getting them before anyone's finished, and it's just like, what? Really rude. Oh yeah, I really hate to say so much bad stuff, but it just wouldn't be right to just say, yeah, it's great, you should buy it, you know? I have to tell you this stuff. There is a long wait time in the restaurant. Like I had one course with a drink and my Sim was in there for 5 hours. It took an hour for the food to be delivered, like a million hours to eat it, and then just the rest. It's just too long. Your Sim can also walk into the kitchen of the restaurant and just wash their hands with absolutely zero consequences. There's no like get out, like they probably could have rigged that with something like the bathrooms where they sort of shout at them to shoo them to get out, like something like that should have been done. I also got invited to breakfast at the restaurant that I owned by my friend even though it wasn't open, so I don't know how that works. I really like how the packs work together. Okay, I do have another positive. And like with Get Together, it's really cool taking a group of people there, although you kind of want to make sure that they have a table big enough at the restaurant you're going to, otherwise your Sims will be broken up onto different seats throughout the restaurant and they'll all be like that talking to each other, and there'll be one Sim on their own somewhere in the corner. It's just a bit weird and a bit like robotic. I think that's the word. I think it's robotic, and I think some of the actions haven't been put in properly and it doesn't flow right. I'm gonna give it 3.5 big fat moos. I really think it has potential, but I feel like it's not finished, and I really hope these things get fixed because it has the potential to be brilliant. In terms of do I think you should buy it, really depends on how passionate you are about running your own restaurant. It's definitely great seeing like the star rating and getting it to go up and like tweaking your menu, and the customization is just unreal. Like that part of it is brilliant, it really is. But if you've got to get to work on, like if you're happy with the retail system and you really don't, yeah. It's personal preference like everything else. It's hard to say whether you should or shouldn't. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have you got it? What do you think? Have you not got it? And why? I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.